You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, going into this weekend, Tampa Bay Bucs fans have a lot going on and a lot riding on this weekend. Obviously, the Buccaneers are trying to make the playoffs. They're trying to win the NFC South. Took a major setback in a loss at home to the Saints. One of the more perplexing losses, I think, all season that I saw. And, one of the more perplexing offensive game plans. And, look, this whole thing may have backfired to a point on Buccaneers fans because I would have loved this team and Baker to have had an offensive-minded head coach. I think they got a really good offensive coordinator. I like Dave Canales. What he did with Geno, what he's done with Baker, pretty remarkable. But at the end of the day, the offensive coordinator does absolutely have to defer to what it is Todd Bowles wants to do. And we all know Todd Bowles is a very, very conservative game-calling head coach, right? He's a good defensive coordinator, but he wants to try to run the ball a lot and all this kind of thing. And by the end of the first quarter, it was pretty obvious you wasn't going to be able to run the ball. All right? You wasn't going to be able to run the ball, and Baker got the shit beat out of him. They didn't turn him loose till the very, very end of the third quarter, and then he showed his ass through the whole fourth quarter, and he got hurt right at the end of the game. So we got a troubling update about Baker and his health. Massive game this weekend. And we got Mike Marks, former Super Bowl coach, and as we know, Mike Marks would, my God, if he'd have had Baker, he'd have just said, just throw the ball everywhere. You know, Mike Marks was all about getting the ball out, getting the ball into playmakers, and boy, he came out and he scorched the Buccaneers over their play calling in this. Now, I've sped this up a little bit, but you'll get the gist of what's going on.
Well, they're at home. They have a chance to control their future, and to come out and play like they did, it was a head-scratcher. I just don't get it. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, who's been on a tear and just playing lights-out football, and they have this thing in their head that they have to pound the football. Well, and it's good. They've been running the ball really well. But at some point, you've got to move the ball and get points. And they had 4 3-and-outs in the first half. They didn't have but 50 yards or so at halftime. They didn't do anything until the end of the third quarter offensively when they started going into more of an up-tempo offense, which was why they wait till the fourth quarter to do that. I don't know, but it was too little. Yeah,
I mean, you heard him. Why'd they wait till the fourth quarter to turn him loose? And as you can expect, it was, like I said a minute ago, a conservative game plan. Now, let's get to Baker's injury, okay? Dave Canales has made some comments about it. It's a little troubling right now. The wording that's coming out, Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield sounded unsure while speaking to reporters on Wednesday if he'll be able to play through an injury to his ribs in his coming Sunday's must-win game at the 2-14 Carolina Panthers. Now, you want to talk must-win? You see all these teams in? Hell, the Rams are in. There's the Buccaneers. If they win, they're basically in this thing, okay? But this is the wrong time for their star quarterback to be hurt. Quote, "I'll do everything I can to be out there, that's for sure," Mayfield said, as shared by the Buccaneers website. Division on the line, playoffs, hopes on the line. Yeah, I'll do everything I can. And we've seen Baker. He's tough as nails. He once toughed it out for the Cleveland Browns and played extremely hurt. And then he got screwed by the Cleveland Browns because they traded for Deshaun Watson. I kid you not, that was his reward. Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles was defiant on Monday that Mayfield was going to be ready to go. Well, quote, "His ribs are sore. He'll be fine by Sunday. He'll be ready to go on Sunday." But then came another update. Yikes. And he doesn't sound so confident. Bowles had a different tune on Wednesday after confirming that Mayfield would not have practice if it wasn't a walkthrough. The notion went from, quote, "he's playing," to essentially he'll try to play. That's not great. That's not great. I know he's going to do everything he can to play. Bowles said, I'm not a doctor. I can't feel what Baker is feeling, so I can't tell you how it's going to feel or if he's able to play. If he can play, I know he's going to try to play. That was the Pewter report. Well, Dave Canales has made some comments. This is a Joe Bucs fan. Canales said he will base his decision on, quote, who gives us the best chance of winning. He's talking about between Kyle Trask and Baker because of this injury. As for Trask, the third-year quarterback who is yet to start a game in the NFL, Canales said that the Florida product is, quote, ready. Okay. Well, Rock Riley said this on the X.
Okay, so Baker Mayfield, he started practice. He was throwing very, very easy, just testing out those bruised ribs. Then offensive coordinator Dave Canales said he took over the third period. He was functional. He ripped some throws. Mike Evans told us that he hit me in stride. He looked pretty good to me. I also asked Canales, are you going to spend more time with Kyle Trask this week? And he said yes. So it looks like Baker Mayfield will start, but the question is, can he finish? And every Buccaneer player that we talked to inside that locker room was saying that they want it bad. Let's see if they come out and start fast. That's the situation here inside One Buck.
Okay, so Rock Riley with the, it looks like Baker's going to start, but is Baker going to be able to finish this thing? And, you know, you would hate to see losing out on the division and the playoffs right at the end of the year because at this point, Todd Bowles has done enough. I would assume he will not be losing his job. Now, there are still some slight winds blowing out there of Bill Belichick and the Buccaneers. I saw a little something yesterday. I may eventually have a video coming on that either later today or tomorrow on Bill Belichick and the Buccaneers again. I know he's thinking if he has to go to another team, obviously he wants to go to a team that's already got some things in place like quarterback. Baker's a free agent. Mike Evans is a free agent. And there's a connection down there with Jason Light, and a lot of people realize that. And it makes it one of the more intriguing options. In fact, I even saw a little fire burning around Belichick and the Falcons, and of course, there's a lot of fire around Belichick and the Panthers. That's a side note, but you get my point. If he wants to break Don Shula's record, he better go somewhere where they got a quarterback and they got some things already installed there. Starting to be a little fire burning around Patriots fans wanting Belichick back, but that's a side note to all this because it ties into the Buccaneers just a little bit. Not a great time for Baker to be hurt. He got the crap kicked out of him last week against the Saints. We'll have to see. This, by the way, is his final push to try to jump Joe Flacco and try to jump Damar Hamlin in what can only be described as, I guess, what? Just the token Comeback Player of the Year award. It becomes a joke if they give it to Damar Hamlin. It really does. But Baker, if he was to go out and, I've said, go out, win the game, win the division, make the playoffs, throw, say, 3 to 5 touchdowns in the game, I mean, Baker should jump way up in the conversation, right dead in the middle of it. He's a plus 1,000 as of right now. He's third, I think. Yeah, third. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.